commemorating Nelson Mandela's centenary, it's a time for the world to reflect on his life and legacy.
For those fortunate enough to have met the global peace icon, today they looked back at the times they shared.
February 25, 1990, KwaZulu-Natal in turmoil, on the brink of civil war, as conflict between the IFP and the ANC boiled over. The country was on edge. And in an effort to avert a situation that could have derailed South Africa's journey towards democracy, the former president took a huge risk, visiting a burning KwaZulu-Natal. He came to call for peace.
My message to those of you involved in this battle of brother against brother is this: take your guns, your knives, and your pangas and throw them into the
sea. It was a tense moment, but more so for a contingent of men tasked with protecting the man who would later become the country's first democratically elected president. Among them was Sam Prakash, an ANC underground operative. It was his first assignment and a daunting task. It was also Mandela's first visit back to KwaZulu-Natal since his arrest in Howick in 1962.
At that particular time, to be in KwaZulu-Natal was the most dangerous place to be, especially if you are a politician and especially if you're a member of the African National Congress, because, you know, there were many forces against you and you didn't really know who those forces were. But we got there, we've done it.
The now 71-year-old Prakash became part of Madiba's security detail whenever he visited the province. On some occasions, would drive him. He says protecting Mandela was always a nerve-wracking task. As for the late statesman, no area was a no-go, no matter how dangerous. Being in Tata's presence was like nothing he'd experienced.
If you spend the amount of time I've spent with him, you know, there is this whole talk, there's a thing that comes about when you're Tata, there's some kind of feeling. There's no some kind of feeling. But when you're with him, there is a presence, something supernatural. You don't feel it when you pass, but when you're with him, there is this something that he has, you know, and you feel it, and you feel it. And that sort of, you know, gave us this impression that, you know, this is not just a human being. You know, there's something more. There's something more to him than a human being, because he treated everybody equally, and no matter who you were, if you met Madiba, you left there shell-shocked.
The two men grew fond of each other, and Prakash says through every interaction with Mandela, valuable lessons were learnt. One of those was being fearless. He marveled at how the struggle icon was able to bring together even sworn enemies, and recalls one visit to a Durban township, one of the most dangerous areas at the time. There was a standoff between the ANC and the IFP.
We got there not knowing that there was about 2,000 IFP supporters waiting, not knowing what they're going to do. So we are standing on this hill, and Tata said, no, we're not going back, I want to go there. And we said, no, you can't go there. He says, no, we'll go there, we'll just walk down, you know. We walked down, it was a rainy day and it was slippery. Of course, we were heavily armed. He went halfway, he took the mic from us. We made sure every time we traveled, we had a megaphone with us because he would speak to anybody. He took this mic and he addressed the entire IMPI. And he told them, lay down your arms. And they all started clapping.
But it was to be South Africa's first democratic election that will forever be etched in his mind. Former President Mandela had decided to vote at Ohlange in Inanda. It was the birthplace of the ANC's first president, John Langalibalele Dube. He recently returned to Ohlange and retraced the footsteps of the icon.
The difference is, walking in here then, it was in the morning, and of course, it was the first vote. And, there was a contingent of us. And, our unit was led by Russell Christopher. We came in here and Tata did the vote. And, that is something that lives with us.
As the world remembers Mandela, Prakash says it should be a moment, especially for South Africans, to reflect on who this gallant fighter was and his aspirations for the country, and whether we are still following in his steps. I am Mhlongo, SABC News, Durban.
Well, the Joint